see it in her eyes. The smile doesn't reach them. She's trying so hard to pretend it doesn't matter. But I know she feels it. Emma is 9, and she already understands what it means to be included last. She's sitting in the back seat, clutching a small overnight bag with cartoon puppies on it. Inside, her faded yellow pillowcase, the one with tiny daisies that have been washed so many times they look like watercolor smudges, her worn teddy bear, Coco, flannel pajamas with hearts, and a bag of homemade star cookies she insisted on making herself. It took her an hour to pack. She folded everything twice, and whispered to herself about being brave. I didn't have the heart to tell her the truth, that this sleepover wasn't meant for her, that we were only invited because someone got sick, that they needed an extra girl to fill a spot, that they picked her for the head count, not the friendship. Do you think they'll like my cookies? She asks now, adjusting her bag. I made them shaped like stars, but some look like blobs. That's okay, right? She'd stayed up past bedtime the night before, carefully cutting each cookie. The edges weren't perfect, but she sprinkled them with colored sugar like they were jewels. They're perfect, I say, and I mean it. But the silence between us is heavy. We approach the gated community, the gates open to a world where money doesn't whisper, it shouts. Designer cars gleam in driveways. Security guards nod at passing golf carts. Every window looks staged for a real estate ad. A woman steps out in athleisure that probably costs more than my mortgage, carrying an $18 smoothie from that boutique place downtown. The homes aren't just large. They're architectural showcases, infinity pools, imported stone, professional landscaping manicured like it's for a royal estate. We'd only recently moved to this school district, and somehow everyone knew we were different. Like our zip code was a scarlet letter. Around here, credit scores matter more than character. Everyone's quietly calculating who belongs and who doesn't. Emma has only been at Riverside Elementary for 2 months. Before that, 3 years at a small public school across town, following us through different houses as we rebuilt our lives. She still uses a pencil case from the dollar store, brings lunch in brown paper bags, makes friends with the quiet kids who sit alone. But today, she's walking into a house filled with silk pajama sets, monogrammed sleeping bags, and girls who think thrifted is a dirty word. I ring the doorbell. It chimes like a cathedral. The host's mom opens it with a practiced smile. Oh, you made it. We weren't sure you'd be able to come. Emma beams. Thank you so much for having me. Oh, sweetie, don't you look adorable with your little overnight bag? She says it just loud enough for another mom to hear, and raise an eyebrow. Inside, it smells like vanilla candles and expensive fabric softener. I glance around. Every girl has matching luggage sets, designer duffel bags, silk pajamas in pastels, skincare routines tucked in little cosmetic cases. Emma stands in the foyer, clutching her puppy bag, unsure where to go. No one looks up from their phones. No one waves her over. And that's when I realize this wasn't a sleepover. It was a social experiment, and they invited her, just to see how she'd handle being the outsider. Before we move on, I'd like to ask you a small favor. If you appreciate this content, please take a second to like this video and subscribe to the channel. Over 90% of you watch the videos without subscribing. It costs you nothing, but it makes a huge difference to us. So, did you click the subscribe button? Great. Thank you so much. Now back to the story. The girls don't acknowledge Emma when she walks in. They glance up from their manicure kits, blink, then go back to painting matching shades of pink. One of them, Sophia, barely lifts her head. The same Sophia whose pool party we weren't invited to last month. The one whose mother runs the PTA like a Fortune 500 company. She's perched on a white sectional, cross-legged, like she owns the entire neighborhood, which, given her family's real estate portfolio, she practically does. Sophia is polished like a magazine cover, hair in a perfect ponytail, silk scrunchie in place, designer pajama set, nails already professionally done. She carries herself like an influencer in training. Perfect angles, perfect poses, perfect expressions. Emma stands near the kitchen island, bag in hand, still smiling, still waiting, hoping to be included. I don't step in. I want to give her the chance to find her place, to feel like she belongs. But she doesn't. Not here. One of the moms walks over, athleisure that's never seen a gym. So, you're Emma's mom. What do you do? She pauses, looking me up and down with that subtle inventory people take when they're slotting you into a box. Or, are you on welfare? I smile politely, not offering the details she's fishing for, but she's already decided. I'm in jeans and a worn sweater. No designer athleisure, no status jewelry, no husband at the door. Michael's work schedule rarely lets him come to school events. The moms cluster by the kitchen island, sipping wine from glasses that cost more than my grocery budget. I hear one whisper, I wonder if she's, doing okay financially. Followed by that concerned but not really laugh women use when they want to sound charitable instead of cruel. Emma perches on an ottoman. Two girls slide their nail polish out of her reach. I watch her scan the room, quietly cataloging the differences. Matching pajama sets with robes, rolling luggage with compartments, LED-lit skincare cases. She's still trying to learn the unspoken rules, still hoping someone will pull her into a conversation about influencers I've never heard of. It's the same pattern every time we start over. New school, new neighborhood, new invisible barriers. Emma's lunch smells different. Her backpack isn't from the right store. Her shoes are practical, not trendy. She's kind, thoughtful, creative in ways that don't fit their curated social media world. But none of that matters here. Here, everything is branded. Sophia's mom floats through the room, adjusting pillows and lighting candles. Girls, get good photos for the group chat. Remember to tag me. Sophia poses with her friends, magazine ready. Emma hovers at the edge, unsure if she belongs in the frame. The camera catches her anyway, awkward, uncertain, in the corner. Later, when it's time for sleeping areas, Sophia claims the sectional with her best friends. The rest spread monogrammed sleeping bags across the plush rugs. Emma looks around, then quietly unfolds her plain department store bag in the leftover space, near the sliding door. She pulls out her faded yellow pillowcase, the one with barely visible daisies, and slips it over a throw pillow. Her shoulders relax slightly. It's her comfort item, the one thing that helps her sleep in new places. The one I packed because I knew tonight would be hard. One girl notices immediately. Oh my God, what is that? She doesn't bother lowering her voice. Another cranes her neck. Is that your grandma's pillowcase? The way she says it like it belongs in a museum. Emma's cheeks flush. It's just my pillowcase, it's really soft. But it's so... Sophia's mom appears, wine glass in hand, takes in the scene, girls clustered around Emma's area, pointing at her pillowcase like evidence of something shameful. Oh, sweetie, she says to Emma, voice dripping fake sympathy. Didn't your mom pack a fresh pillowcase? We have extras if you need one. The girls turn towards each other and whisper. Emma's face burns red. This one is my favorite. It helps me sleep better. The woman exchanges looks with another mom. Well, she says, loud enough for everyone. I suppose some people can't afford the luxuries we have. It's important to be grateful, girls. The words hit like a slap. Emma's eyes fill with tears. She blinks them back. I feel my chest tighten, watching my daughter shrink under their judgment. It's not about money, Emma says quietly, voice barely a whisper. It just makes me feel safe. Her explanation makes it worse. One girl giggles. You need a blankie to feel safe. Another adds, that's for babies. Emma pulls her knees to her chest, suddenly looking much younger than 9. Then she reaches into her bag, pulls out her teddy bear, small, well-loved, brown fur softened by years of bedtime hugs, one ear slightly torn. She'd debated bringing him, knowing she might be too old, but couldn't imagine sleeping without him. The moment he appears, the room goes silent, then whispers start. She brought a stuffed animal? To a sleepover? How old is she? 5. Emma clutches the bear tighter, fighting back tears. His name is Coco. He's been with her through every move, every new school, every lonely night. He's not babyish to her, he's home. Sophia stares like Emma's a puzzle she can't solve. You know we're in 4th grade, right? Voice carrying just enough confusion to sound innocent while delivering maximum damage. Other girls giggle. Emma shrinks further. I watch from the kitchen, hands clenched into fists, wanting to march over, gather my daughter up, but I know that would make it worse. Instead, I clear my throat, loudly. Emma's comfort items help her sleep well, I say firmly, voice carrying across the room. There's nothing wrong with that. Wineglass Mom raises eyebrows. Of course not, she says. Same fake sweetness. We all have our coping mechanisms. The night deteriorates. During the movie, Emma sits apart, still clutching Coco, touching her pillowcase like a talisman. When they do makeovers, no one offers to do her nails. When they order pizza, they don't ask what she likes. When they take selfies, she's consistently cropped out. And before I head out to leave, I can see exhaustion in her eyes. Not from staying up late, from trying so hard to fit in. Somewhere she was never meant to belong. I arrive early the next morning. I know Emma will want to leave immediately, but I'm not alone. Michael insisted on coming. When I texted him about how the night went, he didn't hesitate. Now he's here, weekend casual, but in Michael's version of it. Perfectly tailored jeans, an expensive button-down, Italian leather shoes that cost more than most people's rent, a Swiss watch, perfectly styled silver hair. Everything about him says quiet wealth, and the way he carries himself says he's never, ever worried about money. We ring the doorbell. That cathedral chime again. The door swings open. Sophia's mother stands there, wine glass still in hand from last night, hair perfectly styled even at 9 in the morning. She sees me first, that razor-sharp smile. Oh, Sheila, you're early! Her eyes flick to my jeans, my old sweater. I hope Emma learned something about fitting in. Poor little thing with her raggedy pillowcase and baby toys. Some children just aren't raised with proper standards. The words hang in the air, poison in silk wrapping. I feel that familiar burn, being dismissed, judged, found wanting. Then a shadow falls across the doorway. Michael steps up beside me. His presence fills the space, commands it. When he speaks, his voice has the weight of boardrooms, of billion-dollar decisions. Good morning, I'm Michael Henley, here to collect my daughter. Linda blinks, caught off guard by his tone, by the way he says his name, like it should mean something. She doesn't get it, still smirking, still thinking she holds the cards. Oh, well, hello there, I'm Linda Pemberton, Sophia's mother. She extends her hand like she's doing him a favor. Your wife and I were just discussing. Michael Henley? The voice slices through from inside, sharp, panicked. Richard Pemberton appears, pushing past other parents, almost running to the door. His face drains of color, like he's seen a ghost, or his worst nightmare. Michael, Mr. Henley, I didn't know. His voice cracks. Linda looks between us, still clueless, still holding her wine glass. Oh, you two know each other, she chirps. Richard swallows hard. Yes, he manages, barely a whisper. He owns Henley Mortgage Holdings. Silence, deafening. Linda's wine glass slips in her fingers, her smile freezes, then dissolves as the pieces fall into place. The woman she just insulted, mocked, called poor, is married to the man who owns their mortgage, who knows exactly how far behind they are on payments. By now, other parents have gathered, drawn by Richard's panic, designer coffee cups in hand. Someone whispers, "Henley Mortgage Holdings?" Another, "That's the company that owns half the mortgages in this neighborhood." A third, "Wait, isn't that the little girl they were making fun of last night?" Linda's face cycles through confusion, recognition, horror, and finally, realization. She looks at me. Really looks. Not at my clothes, not at my car, but at the woman she grossly underestimated. I didn't realize," she stammers. Her hands shake. Michael doesn't smile, doesn't gloat. "Where's Emma?" he asks. Calm, but with an edge that makes Richard step back. She's getting her things," Linda whispers. The mockery, the superiority, gone. From inside, I hear Emma's voice. "I'm ready, Mommy." She appears clutching her puppy bag, looking tired, defeated. But when she sees her father, her face lights up. Just a little. "Daddy?" He crouches down, pulls her into his arms. "How was it, sweetheart?" She glances around, at all the watching faces. "It was educational," she says softly. The room is still. No pretense of casualness. Linda's hands tremble. Richard looks like he might be sick. And everyone here, everyone who witnessed the cruelty last night, now understands exactly who they were dealing with. The quiet woman, in simple clothes, with the daughter and her faded pillowcase. She wasn't struggling, she was slumming, and they all, every single one of them, misjudged her completely. As we walk toward the car, Michael's weekend vehicle, a pristine Range Rover that costs more than Richard's annual salary, I slow my steps. I take my time. Let my eyes sweep over their property. The manicured lawns, the sculpted hedges, the imported stonework. "Wow, Linda," I say, my voice dripping with false admiration. "This yard is absolutely pristine. Must cost you a fortune to maintain." I gesture broadly, at the flower beds arranged like a magazine spread, the marble fountain, every inch screaming money they don't have. Then I turn, face her fully, look her dead in the eyes. My smile is sharp as glass, cold as winter. Linda's breath catches, because she sees it now, the knowing, the power, the full understanding of exactly where she stands. Richard shifts beside her, sweat beading, even in the cool air. "Well, we believe in maintaining property values," Linda stammers. Her wine glass trembles in her manicured fingers. "Of course you do," I say, holding her gaze. "Appearances are so important, aren't they, Linda?" The way I say her name makes her swallow hard. She nods quickly, like she's afraid to speak. Richard clears his throat, voice tight. "About that call I mentioned. The payment situation is really just—" He stops. Michael's stare freezes him in place. Michael opens Emma's car door. His movements slow, deliberate. 3 months, Richard," he says quietly. His voice carries in the morning air. Every parent still watching can hear it. That's not a cash flow issue, that's a pattern. Richard's color drains, from white to gray. His hands shake as he runs them through his hair. Linda's eyes dart between us, the panic setting in, as the reality of their exposure hits. "The notices went out last week," Michael continues. "Helping Emma into the car like this is just small talk. Foreclosure proceedings begin Monday." The words land like a hammer. Richard staggers. Linda drops her wine glass. It shatters against the marble step. red wine spilling like blood across the stone. The parents watching have gone completely silent, phones forgotten, coffee cups cooling in their hands. They're witnessing social destruction in real time. The couple who mocked a 9-year-old's pillowcase, exposed as frauds, living beyond their means, on borrowed money. I glance at their perfect facade one last time. Such a shame, I say softly, but my voice carries to every ear. When people can't afford the life they're pretending to live. Linda's face crumples. Richard stares at the ground. The humiliation, absolute. Michael closes Emma's door, walks to the driver's side, never rushing, never showing emotion. Just quiet authority, devastating in its restraint. Good luck with everything, he says. It doesn't sound like he means it. We drive away, leaving behind a neighborhood that will never, ever, look at the Pembertons the same way again. We drive in silence for a while. Michael keeps one hand on the wheel, the other resting lightly on Emma's small hand in her lap. I glance back at her in the rearview mirror. She's staring out the window, Coco tucked under her chin, pillowcase bunched against her shoulder. But her posture is different, straighter, like she's not trying to disappear anymore. You okay, sweetheart? I ask. She turns toward me. Her eyes aren't sad now. They're curious, almost knowing. I wonder if they'll talk about it later. About the way they spent all that borrowed money to project a life they could never truly afford. About the way they clung to the appearance of wealth like it was armor, when all it really did was expose how fragile they were underneath. That's the thing about people who measure worth in logos and square footage. Deep down, they know it's all rented power. And nothing terrifies them more than someone who sees through it. They thought they were judging us. But the truth? They were just broadcasting their own fears. Afraid someone might notice the cracks in the marble. Afraid someone might question if the life they're showing off is even theirs to live. And now they're not just ashamed. They're confused. Confused about how they got it so wrong. How the woman they decided wasn't worth their time could walk away with her head high, while they stood drowning in debt and silence. They'll replay this day over and over, trying to figure out the moment they lost control of the narrative. But the truth is, they never had it. Not with me, not with my daughter, and certainly not with the life they're pretending to own. In the back seat, Emma rests her head against her faded pillowcase, Coco tucked under her arm. Her eyes are calm now, not because she's forgotten their cruelty, but because she finally understands it was never about her. And for the first time since yesterday, she smiles. A small, knowing smile. The kind that says she's learned something most adults never do. When people try to make you feel small, it's only because they're terrified of how little they really are.